Prodigy Academy. So the key steps to master Revit architecture as a beginner, Revit structure, Revit architecture as a beginner. So now let's move on. And then I penned down some 4 keys. 5 that I think is really key. Importance to master Revit from the beginner to an expert level. So that is to familiarize yourself with Revit interface and tools, understand the project setup and template creation, learning basic modeling techniques, wall, floors, roofs, practice creating simple buildings and components. And then the 5th one, which is explore Revit documentation and rendering tools. So mastering Revit architecture requires practice, patience and dedication, so which you can unlock your potential with Prodigy Academy. So join us as we unveil the skills to prepare your career forward. So I have different process. The process at which the tutorial will take, starting from the tutorial 1. So I have everything documented so that we can know what we want to do and where we are heading to. So at the tutorial 1, tutorial 2, tutorial 3, tutorial 4, tutorial 5, tutorial 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So going through those sessions will really help us to master all the keys that has been documented here. So we start with Revit. So this is Autodesk Revit 2020. So if you are using another version different from this one, there's no problem, there's nothing wrong with it. There's only little differences in each versions of the Revit. So you can go on with any version you are working with, and then everything will whatever thing we'll be doing, I'm sure you will understand it clearly. So let's open our new we come to the model. Also we are using another version, maybe 2017, 2018. You will see open a Revit model file. That is if you've done a work before and then you want to open it. And then if you are new to it and then you need to create a new model, so you can create a Revit model in which a new one. So for this tutorial I'll be creating a new one, a new model. So it brought me an option, the template file. Is it architectural template, structural, mechanical? So I'm going with architectural template, and then project. So I'll click OK. So this is the interface for Revit architecture. Alright, so we are still loading up our tools. Alright, so from our tutorial 1 here, the first thing is how to set up our working space. So in aspect of setting up the working space, the first thing I will want you to do is, anytime you're on Revit and then you've opened a new project, the first thing you have to do is to go to your elevation. You will see either the east, north, south or west, and there are times that these properties you might not have it in your own laptop, in your own interface. So then how do you bring it out? You have to come to your view, and then at your view level, you come to your user interface, and then you check the properties and also the project browser. So now if I uncheck it, one of my project browser has gone, and then if I uncheck properties as well, that's gone. So this is, I uncheck it, I checked it again, so because I'll be making use of it, and then my properties, so it's bring my properties and then my project browser. So now you go to the levels at elevations, and then at elevations you click either from the east, from the north, from the south and from the west. You can set your levels. So then the question is, why do we need to set levels? But first of all, let's click either the east, the north, the south, or the west and see what it bring out for us. So you double click. When you double click, you have level 1, you have level 2s. What does it imply? So why do we really need to create levels in Revit? So in Revit architecture, levels are essential for organizing and managing your building design. So in fact, it helps to create level. In creating levels in Revit, it helps to create a separate floor plan for each story, so making it easier to design and manage multi-story buildings. So on the aspect of vertical alignment, levels ensures that elements like walls, columns, and beams are properly aligned vertically. So we have other importance of why we need to create levels in Revit. So levels also provide a reference point for elevation, showing you to accurate dimensions and animate your design. So it also helps to control visibility of elements in plans, sections, and elevations in view. So we have different importance why we need to create levels. So it's really important and it's very essential. So now under the levels, so this is your level, and then for this tutorial in which we will be modeling and designing a bungalow, a 2-bedroom bungalow. So let's create a level. For it. So now, how do we create a level? Let's start by naming some of those properties. So from here, you click and then you rename the level as GL, that is ground level, and then after which you double click your enter. Click the first time. He said, would you like to rename corresponding view? I will say yes and click enter. So now if you see this, it has already reviewed here at your floor plan. So then I'll come to the next one with the level 2. At the level 2, that is, we have the ground floor, that is starting point of our wall. Then the wall of the building move at 300 millimeter or 3 meters. So double click and change the dimension to 300 millimeter, and then you can now change the levels name. So the reason why we usually create the level name, so that we can know what we want to do at each levels, what we want to do. So at level 2s now, I will change it to my headroom. Yes, I will change it to my headroom. And then what is the meaning of headroom? So headroom is that is when you are having from the floor to the ceiling level. That is our headroom. So that is why we named it as our headroom. So you click enter and you say, would you like to rename corresponding views? Next time you are doing that, click do not show this message again and click yes, I want to do it like that. So now if you can see, now headroom has been effective in my floor plan here. So the next thing now is to create my natural ground level. And then what is natural ground level, which is our NGL? It refers to the original undeveloped elevations of the earth surface at its specific locations. So it can also be known as an existing terrain elevation before construction, or rather we said an unaltered by human activities, so e.g. by grading, excavation. So for our NGL, we have 2 levels here. We need to create another third level, the third level, so which is the natural ground level. But as you can see, we have 2 here. Then we need to create a level. So you can do that by clicking hard levels. So if you click hard levels, then you can create another level, or you can use another shortcut command. That is, you double click LL. So when I double click LL, I create another level. I want to create another level, and then it has brought an option for me now asking me to specify my dimension. So for the bungalow design, our NGL is 600 millimeter, and then I press enter. So you drag in, you zoom in to align it, and then you click it. So you can choose to add elbow to it. So you click it again, and then you add elbow to it. So I add elbow so I can see it very well, and then I have to rename it as well. So to my NGO, just name it as NGO, natural ground level. Enter again. So as you can see now, it has affected here also. So everything I'm doing at the elevation will be it will reflect at the floor plan. So now the next thing is to create my the height of my DPC. I mean the height of my parapet wall. So you double click your L, and then you point 700 millimeter. So for my parapet, so you can also add elbow to the headroom so that it won't overlap each other. Can you see that? So then you click the levels, and then you rename it, probably my parapet, and then from my parapet I can add slash roof, because my roof will start from there, from that level. So I double press enter, then as you can see, it has also affected here on the floor plan. So then now that it is how to set the level for bungalow designs and everything like that. So in which we have the height of the building to be 300 millimeter, then the natural ground level to be minus 600. That is, the starting point. So negative, and then we have the parapet roof, which is 3700. Which is 700, and then the total height of everything is 3700. So now we start with our work. Then you come to your ground level. You double click your ground level. So at the floor plan, please note it is floor plan, not slate plan. So there's difference between floor plans and slate plans. So this is floor plan. Then you double click your ground level, and then the next thing is you zoom in at these 4 coordinate. You zoom in, and then you set your wall. So how do you set your wall command? You click wall, and then you set the height, the unconnected height, to be 3000 millimeter. That is what we did on the elevation. So you click edit type, and then for a 9 inches block, the thickness is 225. So and then we are using 9 inches block. So the thickness is 225, and then we click OK. Then you applied it, and then OK. So that is all with setting the interviews, and then with that we can just continue using some of those tools to start doing to start drawing our plan, and as well as model it out.